So that its derivative is 4 minus x squared over 4 plus x squared when x is negative, and e to the square root of x when x is positive. Okay, so this is a very basic application of the things that we saw in last unit, right? So if f prime is like this, then f will be a function will be the primitive of this 4 minus x squared, so one of the primitives, right? At when x is minus 0, and then this is the primitive of e to the square root of x, right? dx here, when x is greater than 0, and we have to choose the primitive, the particular primitive, so that we're how to say this, that the value of this at 0 is 0 and the value of this at 0 is 0. Okay, and so that the two parts connect. Okay, let's do the first primitive, right? So we have the primitive of 4 minus x squared over 4 plus x squared dx, right? Now one way to do it is to realize that if we can write 4 plus x squared here, right? So then we can simplify this factor here, and then we have minus, if we have added plus x squared here, you have to subtract another one, so you have 2x squared here, 4 plus x squared, right? Now this first integral is 1 over 4 plus x squared, right? And so you get 1/4 of 1 over 1 plus x squared over 4. If we make the change of variable, u is x over 2, and so we have du is 2 times du is dx, right? So this is 1/4 of 2 times du over 1 plus u squared. So this is 1/2 of the arctangent of u, which is x over 2, right? This is the first one. The second one is 2x squared over 4 plus x squared over 2, right? Sorry, x squared, right? Now we see that this 4 plus x squared, the derivative of this is, let me erase this, the derivative of this inside the parenthesis is going to be 2x, right? So we can rewrite this as, if, let me see if this works. Okay, now we can say this is 2x times x, right? So then we have doing integration by parts, we can say that our function u is x and our function dv is 2x times 4 plus x squared to the minus 2, right? So now here we have du is dx, and now the primitive of this is going to be 4, or x squared plus 4 if you want, to the minus 1 divided by minus 1, right? Exactly. And so we have here, we have minus x over x squared plus 4 plus the primitive of 4 plus x squared, which we have just done is 1/2 x plus 1/2 of the arctangent of x over 2, right? So now we have this primitive is this is minus minus, so the result is x over x squared plus 4 plus c. Okay, good enough. And now for the other integral, we have that the primitive of e to the square root of x, right? So that's called u is the square root of x, so u squared is x, 2u du is dx, and so this is the primitive of eu 2u du, right? And we can do this by parts, and so this is 2 if let's say well, this is going to be 2u minus 1 e to the u plus c. Okay, you can do it by parts. It's one of those easy ones. And so you can undo the change of variable. This is the square root of x minus 1 times e to the minus x plus c. Okay, this is, let's call this c1 and c2. And now we have to, when these two are 0, this has to be 0. So this at 0 has to be 0, so c1 is 0, right? And then this at 0 has to be 0. This is 2, the square root of 0 minus 1, so this is minus 1, minus 2, e to the 0, 1, and plus c2 is 0, so this has to be minus 2, right? And so these are the two values of the function. This when x is smaller than 0, and this when x is greater than 0, and that's the end of the problem.